What's up, everybody? This is the Uncanny Omar. Welcome to the big reveal today of a bunch of epics coming out in 2024. Big thank you to David Gabriel and the folks at Marvel for sending us all of this information, putting this together, including up until this very early morning. And as always, I can't do this alone. I love having this kind of party with you fine folks revealing the epics. It's been a tradition here for years, and that tradition would be nothing without my buddy to my right, Kurtis from the Epic Marvel Podcast. What's up, dude?
Hello, everybody. Great to be here. It feels like it's been forever since we did one of these announcements, and it certainly was a little bit longer than expected, but glad to be here now, that's for sure.
Yeah, there for a while we were doing monthly, and then we did 2 months, and then we went back to 1 month. So people were like, what's going on? And I think it's just a matter of trying to figure out when the catalog needs to be filled and when the publishing companies need to have this information out there. Whatever the case may be. Here's your exclusive breaking news, everybody. This is I don't have to suit up unless Kurtis wants to one day, and I'll be more than happy to. I've got the suits ready. So yeah, I love doing this
We'll
live.
do that on
Good.
maybe when Amazing Spider-Man Volume 16
16.
gets released. We can
But then
suit up
that
for
would
that.
spoil. Then people would be like, "Wait a minute, they're obviously
True.
revealing Spider-Man 16." No, I think
Maybe
it's a
that's
lot of
Oh,
fun.
did we just spoil that it's not going to be in these announcements?
I think you did. I didn't say anything.
Whoops.
I've been
Sorry,
good with
everybody.
non-spoilers. Um, we got a super sticker from Eric Cotton. Thank you so much, Eric, and thank you all so much for being here. It makes it so much fun. You know, I do these by myself when I talk about Masterworks and of course the Omni releases, the breaking news. And then later on, of course, I see the comments, but it's so much more fun to see the comments come live when like you you see people's excitement, you see some people like, oh, that's not what I wanted, and then you see other people going, oh my gosh, this is awesome. So yes, I kind of hinted at some of the stuff that would be coming, and that is the beginning of the big push for the modern epic era, which
Yeah.
you know they've tested the waters with Ghost Spider, which just released this week. We're getting new Avengers, we're getting Thunderbolts, but it seems like this era of modern epics is what's taking over the complete collections and ultimate collections as before. So if you were collecting things in complete collections or ultimate collections and you're worried that that stuff will never end, I'm sure it will wrap up in some kind of modern epic era. That's the way that they're going to be doing it. And to this day, I still love quoting David on the "Not everything can be an epic." When we asked about the Conan book many moons ago, and now it seems like all epic all the time, which is great
I'm,
for a
I'm
lot of
glad that
collectors.
Well, yeah, I'm glad that they are willing to adapt and change and evolve. I think it's just a smart business practice to see what the fans are looking for and really dive into that. They're doing a great job with it.
Yeah, and honestly, this is also the 10th year anniversary, if I'm not mistaken. I think it came out.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember the big epics release or the reveal. There were four of them. It was what was it? Iron Man, Thor, was it Captain America, and what was the other line, Curtis?
Avengers,
Avengers? Yeah. So those four were
Avengers,
revealed
yeah. Mhm.
right before Iron Man 3 came out. Like around that time, they were like, hey, we're going to do these. And the little story behind that, David told me, like, you know, at first, like, people were not happy with the idea of putting a number on the back. So, you know, the epics have volume numbers on the back, right? So people are used to seeing volume numbers on the spine, and they're like, oh wait, that's not going to go well. Like even booksellers were like, no, that's not a good idea. Well, look where we are now.
Yep,
It's crazy.
yep.
It's
I think
crazy to
it's
think
such a
about, like,
smart move.
over three. This is a really good question. How many epics in totals? I bet Curtis knows, but I think it's over 300.
Okay, so hold on. I have my chart here. By the time September, because the 10-year anniversary is in September, and by that time, we don't have those numbers yet, but it's going to be close to 400.
What? Dude, I was thinking closer to like 320 or something like that.
We've already passed 300. Fantastic Four: The Dream is Dead, that came out a couple months ago, that was number 300.
Man, that's awesome. The number in the back is the most brilliant part. I agree. I think it's awesome. Cosmic Spidey Adventure or Spidey Cosmic Adventures was one of the first four. I think that was one
Oh,
of the
yeah, yeah.
first six, right?
Yeah, no, that was one that was in the initial announcement. It was Spider-Man Cosmic Adventures,
Hmm.
Iron Man, Enemy Within,
Okay.
Avengers,
Final Threat,
and Thor, Follow the Pantheon.
Fall of the Pantheon. Okay, so it wasn't
No, no,
Captain
sorry,
America
sorry,
then.
War of the Pantheons. War of the Pantheons.
You get one, Curtis. That's your one mistake today.
Oh, there might be many mistakes coming up here.
That's okay. We all live in a society. What's up, Joe Cool? Happy to have all these familiar faces here. How many new announcements? Any new lines today? I don't think any new lines today. Maybe the next batch we may have some. I can't
Yeah.
remember. So the way we
Oh,
split these
sorry.
up
There's
is
there's actually there's three new lines. There are three
okay.
new modern era epic collection lines that we're
There
going
you
to talk about today.
go. The manager at my local comic book store still complains about the numbers on the back because he hates like looking back there, like to see what volume, how to put them on the shelf. I,
He just has to memorize all 300.
so part of the reason they did that for the people that are new to the hobby is because any publisher, any bookseller, any retailer will tell you that volume fours of a series don't sell as well as volume ones. So doing away with a volume number on the spine, you have like a complete epic story all in one. So that's
The
why they did away.
psychological thing.
Yeah, that's why they did away with it. Now, of course, the mentality of future volumes not selling as well as a volume one has changed over the years. But I don't know if David would ever go back to that idea of like, let's put volume numbers on the spine now. I think that ship has sailed by now. Let me get
Well, and
go ahead,
you
Curtis.
can market
Well,
them as part of the set, or you can market them individually if they don't have the volume number like obviously there in front of you. It's perfect.
is there any plans to do polls for most wanted unannounced epic lines like Spectacular Spider-Man, Marvel Team Up, Dakota North, Nick C with
Or
some good taste there. Um, I mean, we could. That's definitely something I would need help with. I've got, Curtis helps me with the Epic Marvel reprint poll. By the way, you're not going to see any reprints this batch. We forgot to mention that. We'll be doing another video for that separately about the reprints. So hold on tight. Don't get disappointed if you don't see something that's not being reprinted that you voted for. This is a good idea. It just takes a lot of work because whenever Tiger Eyes did the poll for the most wanted Marvel Omnis, it beat him to a bloody pulp because he had to read each and every email and then tally up how many votes were per
oh,
line. So the only way to do this would be to create a poll ahead of time, like Curtis and I coming together with a bunch of like oh man, like Philip. Oh my gosh, I'm sure he could help. Coming together with like a list of books that Marvel hasn't announced yet, and then letting you all vote for it. Because if you leave it out in the open, man, you're gonna get things in there like Nth Man. You better be voting for Nth Man.
yeah, no kidding.
Super Pro and things like that. So I mean, it could be done, and it could be up. I can open it up to everybody. You don't have to have social media to do it. That's the best approach when it comes to this. Because the first time I did the most wanted omnibus reprint poll, I left it to social media, and we got a bunch of votes in. But people were like, "Hey, Omar, I don't have any social media. I don't Facebook, I don't Twitter, and I don't Instagram." So that's why we decided to do it through a Google shared document. If you vote for Alf, you're immediately banned. Are there
Oh,
any rumblings of a new classic epic lines? Is there rumblings? I don't think this time around there's rumblings, right, Curtis?
this time, but I'm sure we'll see some new ones coming up later in 2024.
Warren, I never know your taste. YouTube is social media in a way, right? But you don't post like pictures of yourself at the park. Well, maybe you do. I don't know.
You could
Um,
live stream from the park.
you could, well, especially with those stupid shorts now. that I have to get into. Curtin Omar, what's up, Mr. Awesome? We need a Warlock epic. We need a lot of epics. No social media is their name, Lars. Lars is out there somewhere. I've ordered the 2 Rise of the Sith epics because it has episode 1 adaptation. Which epic Star Wars has episode 2? This is a
That would be
question for me.
the last Menace revealed. The last Menace revealed, volume 3, I think, has episode. Oh, I have my list right here. Hold on a second.
Gary is out. He'll look at the post summary. This is too waffly. Dude, I love Waffle House. And this is the pregame, baby. All right. Curtis, are you ready, or what were you doing?
Menace revealed, volume 3 has the Attack of the Clones adaptation.
Look at that Carpet Bomb comic. If you need any help with the data side of things, compiling, etc., just let me know. Data analysis is my world when I'm not writing comics or reading them. Thank you so much. Seriously, I may hit you all up. All right. Yeah, dude, now I'm hungry for freaking Waffle House. You guys have Waffle House in Canada?
We do not. Nope,
You're missing
doesn't
out,
exist
man.
up here.
All right, Uncanny 85 is here. Let's go ahead and get started. Curtis, let's take a look at the books in February of 2024 in no particular order. Again,
Okay.
no reprints this time around.
Can you add? Oh yeah, there we go. So this, like we said, February. We've already announced January. That was last time. So we're starting with February. The first one, we're going to start with one of the quote unquote licensed titles. We have Aliens Epic Collection, the Original Years, Volume 2. Now, I've never read any of the Aliens Dark Horse stuff, but I loved Volume 1. I thought it was so good. I love those stories.
So one of the things that
very
they
much
did
looking forward here.
when they got the rights to Aliens was change the names back to the original names of the movies. So you have Ripley, you have Newt, you have Hicks in there. So they, because later on in the reprints from Dark Horse, they changed the names because of rights and licensing and things like that.
No, it was because of continuity issues, because the Aliens comics came out before Aliens 3, and then in Aliens 3 it revealed that those characters died a long time ago. So it meant that continuity-wise, those stories did not actually make sense. So they changed the names in the reprints so that they were like, oh no, these are other adventures with other people to do with aliens. And yeah, so the Epic has put the names back to the way that they were before, which is kind of cool.
And I believe some of these were reprinted in black and white as well, and they're using the original colors for the reprints so far. At least in the omnibus editions, I assume it's going to be the same for the Epic edition. Sorry, I just got
Alien 3, Alien 3.
I got distracted
My mistake.
by that color. Alien 3. Really quick, thank you so much for the super chat, Brian. Does Marvel have any internal logic between what's classic and what's modern? Is it a bit fluid? Thunderbolts being labeled as classic surprised me. I assume Heroes Reborn would be the cutoff date. Well, after this stream, I think a lot of us, well, at least all of us, all you watching, will have a better understanding as to where the modern era begins for Marvel. Keep in mind, it's modern now. 10 years from now, when you're watching this stream, you're going to be like, I remember when that was modern. Now it's classic.
Well, Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider didn't even exist when the Epic Collection started 10 years ago.
And just like that, I feel like an old man. I feel like an old man just like that. All right, Curtis, let's keep this baby going.
Daredevil Modern Era Epic Collection, Volume 2, Underboss.
That's right. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Damn it. Sometimes these epics are mapped so much better than the Omnis. This collects Daredevil Ninja 1 through 3 and Daredevil 16 through 31. This is your first modern epic of Daredevil. and man, it's this is the Bendis era of Daredevil too.
Yeah.
So we assume volume 1 will begin with what era?
With Marvel Knights, Joe Quesada,
Yeah,
and
which is
Evan
something that
Smith.
we thought we kind of guessed, right? Like we thought, okay, the Marvel Knights era is what's going to kick off the modern era for Punisher, for Daredevil, and I guess Ghost Rider. But yes, this is a big one. This is one that's been, of course, released in Ultimate collections. It's been, I believe, it was, and please correct me if I'm wrong. It was released as Ultimates. I don't think they were called complete collections then. It's been
Right.
released in omnibus editions, oversized hardcovers. But I'll say it again: these will be mapped better just by the inclusion of some stories that were not in the omnibus. So,
Right. And so the volume 1 will have the first 15 issues of this run of Daredevil, which includes the first appearance of Echo. So I'm sure that'll come down the road.
no, it will
And
not.
also,
I'm sorry. Really quick, he's
it won't.
asking the Marvel Knights Omni that can fit into one epic. No, because I seriously doubt that Daredevil Father will be collected in that omnibus. Daredevil Father was written later on, after Kevin
Oh.
Smith left the book. I want to say Daredevil Father was written right around the time Ed Brubaker was taking over the book. So you might see it in that epic collection to answer that question. Yeah, am I right, Curtis? I can't remember. I know that Daredevil Father was not written when
It
Quesada was
was quite a
drawing.
bit later. Yeah, it was quite a bit later. Okay, so yeah, I this is great. I think that if you were on the fence about modern era epic collections based on the previous ones, like this is a very like top tier run of comics right here. So this is just one of 3 new modern era epic collection lines that we're going to see in this
Mhm.
announcement. These
I just
announcements.
got the Bendis Omnis. No regrets though, and thank you for the super chat. And that's what happens, man. Sometimes the epic folks win one over us, and that's okay. We're not hating. We'll get them.
What this does is also says to me, you know what? I'm probably going to shelve my modern eras right beside my classic eras because these are going to flow like one right after the other. Once
Oh,
we get
absolutely,
that modern era
absolutely,
epic volume 1.
hmm
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, all right, let's do it. Look at that Mike Deodato Jr. cover, man.
Here we go. Captain America Epic Collection Volume 21, Twilight's Last Gleaming.
This is it. I assume, right? For now,
This is, well, there's a couple, this is a gap filler. This is the
Mhm.
very last of the Grunwald volumes.
right, right,
Captain America,
right
sorry?
before right before Wade took over the book, right?
That's right, yes. So Captain America 431 to
Yeah.
443, Tales of Suspense number 1, which is a one shot, and Avengers, which is a tie in. There's a crossover called Taking Aim, which you can see on the cover of this one right here. Taking Aim, that story was collected in its own epic collection, Avengers epic collection. So we'll see a little bit of double dipping here.
Is Bob right? That means Captain America is 6 through 8. So 3 more epics to complete the entire Captain America line.
Um,
Up until Wade.
Pre Heroes Reborn, yes, that's right. Just missing 6 to 8, so that's pretty incredible. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
this one is
it's
huge
going to
because
be it.
Fighting Chance comes out this month, and that's
Yes,
20, right? So this one is huge because we've had, and I know why, and you know why. And for anybody that read this era, you probably know why they held off on these, right? You can't, these would not be your very first Captain America. And you all know I love Mark Grunwald, but this is Captain America in an extreme armor suit
you.
towards the end. Ridiculous, but I don't care. I'm so happy. And I'm glad they went with that cover. I love that cover. And I didn't think they would choose that cover, but awesome.
It's a good cover.
Mm. So it also collects Avengers 386 to 388. Was that the crossover with the no, not First Sign.
Taking Aim. It's the Taking Aim
Oh, that's
crossover.
part of this. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you ready for the next one?
I am. I assume everybody else is. Yes, finally.
Yeah.
Are
Go.
you epic
Yep.
people?
Incredible Hulk Epic Collection Volume 15, Ground Zero. This is the beginning of Peter David's Incredible Hulk. Now, there
Mhm.
are a bunch of these lines in the 80s that are very popular, and people are like, when are they going to do this? Like Burns' Fantastic Four and Frank Miller's Daredevil. This, like, when is the start of Peter David's Hulk going to come? Here it is. There are very few Incredible Hulk volumes left to go, and so they had to get to this eventually, and here we are.
Um,
A good run of issues here.
so
Issues 331 to 346, plus the Marvel graphic novel Incredible Hulk and Thing: The Big Change, which was also in Fantastic Four Epic Collection. The More Things Change.
so you have Todd McFarlane on artwork for the most of this stuff right here, and you have Sam Keith for one issue, a little bit of Eric Larson, but this stuff, unlike the omnibus, well, the omnibus started with 328 and then it skipped to 331 to 3 what was it, 3, I think it went all the way to 368. So the volume before this one has come out already, though, volume 14, which has the John Byrne stuff, right, Curtis?
Yeah, John Byrne and Al Milgrom.
Okay, yeah. So yes, this is the one with issue 340 with Wolverine, which I'm surprised they didn't use for the cover because I know it's overused, but I don't care. It's still such a badass cover. But it's the one with Wolverine's claws, and you see the reflection of Hulk by Todd McFarlane. That's the one from 340, and that's the part of the Ground Zero. So this one makes me happy for a lot of people that don't get omnis and have been waiting years for this one. And I remember when I announced the omnibus, people were like, "Oh, there goes any chance of getting Peter David in epic format for the next 10 years." You didn't have to wait that long. It was what, 3 years, 3 or 4 years since that announcement.
Yep.
But here it finally is. And really quickly, from the one above all, Batman and Robin by Tomasi Omnibus or Batman Long Halloween, which one is better? I would go with Long Halloween.
Oh, I love that story. Long Halloween. So good.
Yeah. No skipping in epics, Omar. Epics are the one true format. That's right. And that's why Phil Owens is buying every single one of the Venom and Carnage epic lines. Thank you for your sacrifice, Phil Owens. That Wolverine cover will be 100% the back cover.
Oh,
I
yeah,
would
you're
think so.
probably right.
Or even on the spine. You know how like the spines have the monotone color down there? That would be cool too. I was hoping for more Mantlo as well. Somebody said that. Right here, Krypton says, always nice to get more Peter David, but I would like to see more Mantlo epics. I would too. I would too.
Yeah,
Even though
they're
we
so
all
close.
know, even though we
The,
all know one issue is going to be missing from that one Hulk epic line because of Rom.
yeah, yeah.
That
Now
sucks. But
the Mantlo issues are coming. We have a gap of volume 9 through 12, and so the classic, like from sorry, let me start over. The epics get
take your time
published
first.
2 year usually, so there's usually a more modern, quote unquote modern. There's an 80s and 90s volume, and then there's a 60s 70s volume in the same year. And so the 60s and 70s volumes are pushing forward chronologically, and I'm sure that they'll continue those through the Mantlo years at this point.
Well, and they're doing the masterworks of that era too, right? We're on volume 16 of the Hulk. So
Right.
that stuff, I would rather wait for them to use those masters. Thank you for the super chat. I will always defend Eddie Venom. It's campy. Oh, I don't think you have to defend him. Like the sales of those books are insane, right? Like I don't think he needs any defending. He's fine. Eddie's doing fine. And apparently so is Carnage. Kids, man. They love them some Carnage and symbiotes. Oh my gosh, look at this. I brought up ROM and then people started talking about licensed products. Oh my gosh, the Godzilla Essential is the only essential I have, and I still can't find it. And
You
Shogun
can't find
Warrior.
your Godzilla Essential?
No, and that's like it's
You
it's
left
in
it?
one of my black and white boxes.
Ah.
Dude, Alejandro, are you wearing a Fatal Fury hat? Take it out and say, okay, dude, what's up, Kingsport Cow? Just dropping in to say, que pasa? Nice Zelda t-shirt. I might hit that like. You may hit that like. Can you remind everybody else to hit that like? By the way, I will be on later tonight at 7:45 with Nick at the Experience. We're going to be auctioning off some George Paydez original artwork, and 100% of the proceeds are going to his widow, Carol. So even if you want to just come by and say hello, that would be great. And then Amanda and I are reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy 3 tonight with spoilers at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live.
Nice.
So symbionts were all the
Well,
rage in the 90s. I know that. I know that.
they still are.
They still are, apparently. All
Hey,
right.
should we go on to the next one?
Let's rock and roll, baby.
Luke Cage Epic Collection Volume 2, The Fire This Time, collecting Power Man 24 to 47 and Power Man Annual number 1. This is the end of the Luke Cage Epic Collections. We are complete now with 2 volumes.
That's crazy. I really thought this was one of those lines that they kind of forgot about with Luke Cage Volume 1. But now this maps perfectly with Luke Cage. So you get Luke Cage 2, Iron Fist, and then you get Heroes for Hire Epic Collections. And
The Power Man and Iron Fist Epic Collections. Yeah, exactly.
are those
So you can
finished?
see those are finished. Yeah, all 4 of those are done. So we
Dude,
have the
yeah, the whole
complete
shebang.
Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Well, you know, they could actually do like 2 or 3 more Iron Fist and Power Man epic collections. Like Luke Cage had the Power Man series or no, it was just called Cage in the 90s.
Oh, in the 90s,
That
yeah.
could that could be collected in this line as well as a volume 3.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
And then
mean,
Iron Fist also had much more content over the years.
Volume 1 came out in February of 2021, and now coming out in February of
2024.
2024, 3 years later. So I'm so glad
Yeah.
they didn't forget about it. He has no TV show. I think he's rumored to appear somewhere in the MCU, who knows? And now it just like they're just finishing out things that they started. I love it. This stuff has been available in omnibus format, though. Just throwing that out there for the people that,
Of course.
you know, that have been
Who
waiting.
pays attention to that stuff?
Ah, stop it. Still upset they didn't include the Deadly Hen stuff in the Iron Fist epics.
You know what? At the time, the epics
Justin.
stuck to the more friendly family stuff, and the Deadly Hands is more mature content. Now, this is one of the things I've talked about as the line has evolved over the years. They have put that more mature stuff in, so they could still
Mhm.
do an Iron Fist Volume 2, which has the Deadly Hand stuff. A bunch of those stories now, not a bunch of them, but there are a small handful of them that now can't be reprinted because they have Master of Kung Fu characters that the Marvel doesn't have the license for anymore. Which is why, if you find that old Iron Fist Deadly Hands of Kung Fu trade paperback, it's going to be worth a lot of money. Won't be reprinted.
You mean the old Iron Fist trade paperback?
Iron Fist, The Deadly Hands of Kung Fu trade paperback.
Mhm.
Yeah, it has all of those stories.
Steven, omnibus are for people with too much money. I don't think they have too much money after they buy all those omnis. Epics are for life. Still a kid at heart. Leave the mature stuff out. Wow, I like that. I don't hear enough of that. I hear most people are like put everything in and market mature content. And the Deadly Hands Omnis are pretty easy to find still as well. I think some of them are out of print right now. Because somebody was trying to find one of the volumes, and I can't remember which one went out of print.
They're just
And
going to keep on getting more out of print.
well, there's only 2, right? Thank you, Taylor. There's only 2 Deadly Hands, and then there were 4 Master Kung Fu. Those are some of the
Yeah.
ones that are out of print. All right. Are we still in February?
And that's it for February, I think. Let's see.
Remember,
Yes, we're going to move on
no
to
no
March.
reprints. No reprints yet. We'll do another video for reprints.
Yeah.
March, my birthday month. And at this moment, I just want to
Oh,
remind everybody to smash that like button. Not because of my birthday month, but just because we're announcing things today. All
well, for
right.
both reasons.
For both reasons, sure.
Yeah.
The Rebellion.
Rebellion
6.
Volume 6. This is the final volume of the Rebellion. So here's another line complete. That's 2 lines completing in these announcements here. Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire. The Bounty Hunters, Scoundrels, Wages, classic Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, Tales from Mos Eisley, Tag and Bink. This is my favorite. Sergio Aragonés stomps Star Wars because I'm a huge
I
Sergio
like
fan.
Star Jones.
And Shadows of the Empire mini comic, and then material from Star Wars Kids, Star Wars Visionaries, and Star Wars Tales. That is a packed volume there.
Now, the Rebellion, this was announced as an omnibus, right? Volume 2? Is that what's collected in the second Rebellion omnibus?
I
I
don't think
cannot
that they made
remember.
it this far.
You don't think so? So it would
I
be,
don't think
oh,
so.
wait, no, I guess it would be 3 volumes because these are big books, right? Over 400 or 500 pages.
Yeah, they're close to 500. So yeah, I think that yeah, the Omnis are probably collecting 2 epics at a time or something like that. But yeah,
Mhm.
I don't think that the second one reached this point because someone asked about it about Shadows of the Empire last time.
Yeah, so this is the Shadows era. I've already committed to Star Wars Omnis for this stuff, but happy to for folks to get this. Thank you for that, Arthur. Hope you're doing well, brother. And I just need a reprint of Rebellion Volume 3. Did they collect the sequel of Shadows of the Empire in Epic already? I remember there being a sequel miniseries. Did they? I know
Uh,
Air Dark Empire did, right? Dark Empire 1, 2. Those are
let's have
definitely
a
in
look
there.
here. It would have to be a New Republic, right? Because that comes after Rebellion. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Oh, Shadows of the Empire Evolution is in New Republic, Volume 1.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Will we get Star Wars Epic reprints anytime soon? That's something
That
that I don't know. I did highlight the one. So you all voted for the reprints, right? And I think two Star Wars books made it to the top 20, including one from last time. I highlighted that one. That was the only one that they didn't reprint it. And I said, I mentioned that this is one that must have slid under the radar. So I don't know.
Hmm.
Once we get
Well,
the
I'm pretty
reprint,
sure
let's go share it.
I think that they didn't do the reprint of that one because they released an omnibus instead.
Mm.
Because it was it was the Old Republic Volume 1 or something like that.
Do you think modern epics like New Avengers will mirror the Ultimate Complete collection so people can just fill in where they need? I can't
Yes and no.
remember. Let me actually, while Curtis goes to the next book, I was gonna look up the Daredevil Ultimate Collection by Bendis because I
It's
can't
not the
remember if
same.
that.
I already looked it up and it's different. It's a complete they've shifted the breaking points completely.
Mm,
The New Avengers Volume 1 Modern Era Epic Collection is the same as the Bendis ones, but I don't know if they'll continue to do that all the way through. The Loki Epic Collections add a few things, and I think it's a case by case situation for that one.
okay, so like Daredevil by Bendis and Malieve Ultimate Collection Volume 1, that collects Daredevil 16 through 19 and 26 through 40. So it's already skipping those Echo issues, right? The introduction of Echo with David Mack. So I assume they're going to be mapped differently just based on that. And yes, Daredevil will be the first time Bob Gale arc will be collected outside of the, what was it, the trade paperback, The Unusual Suspects or The Usual
The
Suspects?
usual, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was part of the
Hey,
Marvel Knights 30th anniversary.
thank you so much, Sports Cards. My first time catching you guys live. Thank you for all you do for the Epic community. Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Uh hold on. Shadows of the Empire sequels in the New Republic, Star Wars, Shadows of the Empire Evolution 1 through 5. All
That's
right.
right.
Let's keep on. Well, let's keep on trucking.
Daredevil Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 3. So we get 2 Daredevil Modern Era
Back to
collections back to back. That's kind of what they did with Venom, and that's kind of what they did with Loki as well. So looks like they're going to keep that pattern going with issues 32 to 50.
Yeah. So that pesky Ultimate Collection, those Ultimate Collections of Daredevils that went out of print that go for a lot of money. You know, now those people can start dumping those. Um, so I'm very happy for the people that missed out on this. I know the Omnis are out of print right now. Boy, that should be a T-shirt every time we do this. We're the X titles. Um, yeah, it's crazy. Back to back, right? I mean, they're really pumping these out.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Interesting.
And
So we will not see Daredevil Yellow in Epics at all. I I don't know. I mean, that might be 32. I'm trying to think of when that came out because they put
that's
Ninja in there. And if Daredevil Yellow came out around the same time, I think that was after Spider-Man Blue. I know Captain America White was the last one, but I can't
June
remember if Yellow was during the
2001. June 2001 is the publication date, and these
for
issues
Yellow.
are for Yellow, yeah. So it could possibly be in volume 1,
On 1.
a Daredevil
Yeah.
Modern Era Epic Collection volume 1.
Yeah, because Marvel Knights started towards the end of 2000. So, I mean, they very well could. Yeah. They very
And
well could.
there are only 15 issues in that Epic Collection anyway, so they could put Daredevil Yellow. Yeah, I mean, that would probably make up the rest of it. But there's also Spider-Man and Daredevil number 1 to 4. That was another Marvel Knights miniseries that they could put
Mhm.
in volume 1 as well.
Yeah, they could definitely fill that up. And I think Father will go later during the Ed Brubaker era.
Mm.
Crazy that we're talking about this. Like Daredevil Yellow is gonna be in an Epic collection.
That would be great. I
Times
hope
we're
so.
living in, man.
Next up, Carnage
Hey,
Epic Collection Volume 3. The Monster Inside. This is a look at this. Amazing Spider-Man 430 to 431. That's when the Silver Surfer, the Carnage symbiote takes over Silver Surfer. Peter Parker Spider-Man 13, Web Spinners Tales of Spider-Man 13 to 14, Venom versus Carnage 1 to 4, which is from 2004, the Toxin miniseries from 2005, and X-Men Spider-Man number 3, 2008. This is a classic era epic collection line that goes to 2008. So this is
yeah.
really pushing the boundaries of what classic era epic collections are.
So that means when does the modern Carnage Epic collection go? Does this overlap with the omnibus? Absolutely, it does.
Does
Because it
the
has.
does does the
Go ahead.
omnibus include Toxin?
I believe it does.
Okay.
The new Carnage omnibus. Um, let me double check though. That omnibus is better. That omnibus only had one print run too. Venom versus Carnage, Carnage 1 through 5, Carnage USA, which is what the cover is, Minimum Carnage, Alpha and Omega. I stand corrected. No, it does not. Where is that Toxin story though? Is that in a Venom omnibus? And I know I've seen that. That cover is from the next chapter, isn't it? One of the
Next chapter, volume
trade
3.
paperbacks.
Yeah. Yep. That's
Yeah.
the So this is yeah, I think they'll probably start the Carnage Epic collections with the what was it, the Absolute Carnage line? Was that the next thing that comes after
Well,
this?
Absolute Carnage. No, that doesn't happen until Donny Cates' run of Venom. I would think the modern era would be that 2010 Carnage USA story or the
Oh
2010
yeah,
Carnage story.
Carnage USA. Yeah, yeah, right. Forgot
So
about
like,
those.
in, not to spoil anything, but I think modern Carnage is going to start after the century. You know, I don't want to spoil what happens, but yeah, for people that have read the story, I think post
Right.
century.
That is yeah, that is kind of a new start for the characters, so that would make sense.
But you're right. Toxin has not been in collected. I thought it was. I thought I could have sworn it was in one of those books like Ben Omnibus. I'll have to triple check.
Oh, like that comment. Move on. We don't need Carnage debated.
If this is going to 2008, may mean X-Men may go into 2011. I assume it was going to split at this point sometime around issue 400. Yeah, it's a little harder with characters like Carnage, right? Because he didn't have his own ongoing series. He had his ongoing. What the hell is wrong with me? Uncanny Omar Talk Pretty One ongoing series. He had a bunch of minis, and then he appeared throughout the pages of Spider-Man. So I don't know. Phil, there's still some classic stuff in here, buddy. All right. Next,
Okay,
Kurtis.
keep on going, keep on going. Here's what I'm excited about. Fantastic Four Epic Collection Volume 24, Atlantis Rising. This is a gap filler. It is the final volume of the Tom DeFalco and Paul
Right.
Ryan run of Fantastic Four, of which I am a big fan. Fantastic Four 393 to 402, Fantastic Force number 7 to 9, because that's part of the Atlantis Rising crossover, and Fantastic Four Atlantis Rising numbers 1 to 2, and also the Atlantis Rising Collector's Preview.
I'm so glad they're collecting this stuff. I'm also a fan of the Falco's era. I can't remember. No One Gets Out Alive happens before this, right? So this is the Even the Watchers Can Die story
Yes, that's
with
right.
Paul Ryan.
Yep.
So at least that's the cover right there to issue 400. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm glad we have
That we're
this
finally
complete
getting
because
stuff like this, right?
before the Epic collections, there were no dedicated trade paperbacks to anything Tom DeFalco Fantastic Four. So now we have the whole run. The whole run is complete.
Yeah. Does that mean we're gonna get a Fantastic Force Epic collection? Yeah, we can put that on the poll. So
Just
that
a one and
leaves
done.
Fantastic Four 10 through 16. So
Ye
you got
there
7 volumes, huh?
Yeah, that's right. As far as the Heroes Reborn stuff, pre-Heroes Reborn, it is 10 to 16. Amazing. Which means if they're gonna do 2 years still, either they will have to push it into to Heroes Reborn or Heroes Return era, and then keep on plugging through issues number 10, volume 10 to 16, or they'll start releasing the Burn stuff pretty soon.
Yeah, I don't know if the Claremont and the Scott Lobdell era, if that's gonna be modern or not. Because that's 1990, what was that? 1998, right? And if it's MK, right? If Marvel Knights starts off the Daredevil era,
It was
that's a lot
98.
easier because well oh, was it 98? For some reason I thought it was like late 90s, like 99, 2000. Okay. Well, maybe then. Yeah.
Yep.
My
Okay, next
goal
one.
has always been to
No,
have Fantastic Four number 1 through 416 on my shelf. In Omni and Epics, we are very close. We are very close.
yeah. If you
Finally,
have
Warren's happy.
if you have the Masterworks, then this volume is all that you need to get that collected on your shelf.
So does this pick up right from when the burn? Oh my goodness. No, this is years after
No,
that.
yeah, years after that. So after Burn is Englehart,
Mhm.
and then Simonson, and then
And
DeFalco. This
DeFalco.
is much later. This is like 10 years later.
Yes, the Claremont, La Roca, that era is the post Heroes Reborn. That's the Heroes Return era, which I assume, like Kurtis, also the modern epic then, even though I had my dates mixed up. For some reason, I thought it was like late 90s. Thank you so much for the super chat, Brian. Will we ever get proper epics focusing on events? That is the question. Like, um, Peter M and I were talking about that. Did they ever do that with Masterworks? Was there ever like a contest of champions Masterwork or a Secret Wars Masterwork? And we don't think so. I think they just end up releasing trades for those.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the plan is.
Mm.
Okay, next one. Guardians of the Galaxy Epic Collection Volume 2, Quest for the Shield. It's
It's
called Quest for
nuts.
the Shield. Pardon?
It's nuts that we're jumping this far into the Guardians of the Galaxy because there's another group of characters that didn't have an ongoing series until we get to 1990 right there.
Right. So the bulk of this book is actually the Korvac saga in
Mhm.
Avengers 167, 168, all those numbers you see up there. And then they had a couple of random appearances in Miss Marvel, Marvel Team Up, and Marvel 2-in-1, and those issues make up the old trade Tomorrow's Avengers Volume 2, and then they've expanded that to include Guardians of the Galaxy 1 through 6.
So
Oh yeah,
Matt's saying
Contest of Champions
Contest of Champions
in the
is in
Hulk.
Hulk Marvel Masterworks. They haven't gotten as far as Secret Wars yet. That might be a question I may have to ask, just so people that only get epics can plan ahead. Because I know they just reprinted Secret Wars 1 and 2 in trade. And if that's the way they're going to do it, then they might as well get them. Yeah. So this is cool because if you own the Marvel, this just goes to show you how mapping works differently. The classic Guardians Omnibus has everything up to Marvel 2 and 169. The Valentino Omnibus kicks off with Guardians of the Galaxy 1 from 1990. So it's nuts. Like, it's like, look, we're dipping our toes into the Valentino era, so you have to get this if you want to get into the 1990 era, right? Dang it.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
that's the way it
all of this it was all collected already in those old trades that came out, yeah, probably about 10 years ago now, called both, yeah, the Avengers, the Tomorrow's Avengers, and then also Guardians of the Galaxy by Valentino. And so if you have all of those, this is double dipping for you for sure. Interesting to note that this is the second epic collection that will have the Korvac saga in 1 year, because just before this, uh, there's an Avengers epic collection coming out. Let's see, when is that one coming out? It's coming out in September of this year. It's called the Yesterday Quest, and it's also going to have the
yeah.
Korvac saga in it. So within 6 months of each other, there's two epic collections with the Korvac saga, which is interesting.
So I'm excited for it. Wait, let me hold on a second. Do I have control over? Oh my gosh, I do have control over this. Just in case you bounce, Curtis. This is like Namor Epic 1, almost all the double dips except for a handful of new chapters. Yeah, and we need some more of those. Avengers Korvac
So,
saga with press art. Get it, Omar. Oh, I know. That's one of my favorites. When we were doing the going over the solicits, that was one that I'm like, oh, I can finally replace my old trade, and I mean my old trade paperback that I
you
had.
have the one with the yellow border on the cover.
Yes, you
Is that
know
the
the
trade
one.
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that too.
But then I
Okay.
almost upgraded to the Marvel premiere. All right, Curtis, take us to the next book.
Oh, that's it for March. There you go.
Which is in April.
Okay, so April, starting off with Captain America Modern Era Epic Collection. You can't see it, but it says Volume 2, Death
I'll
of
fix
the
that.
Dream. Volume 2, Death
Spoilers.
of the Dream.
All right, so now we know we're Captain. This is what I'm talking about. It's so okay. We thought we had it figured out, but we got a better understanding. So with Daredevil, we're kicking it off with Marvel Knights. With Captain America, we're not kicking it off with Marvel Knights, but instead we're kicking it off with Captain America by Ed Brubaker. That will be the beginning of the modern epic for Cap, meaning those stories like Kirkman's Run and the one with the artwork by John Cassaday. Those will be still epic collection then
I
post
guess so.
Wade.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's what it
Yeah.
seems to. Which could also give us a clue that the other Heroes Reborn era titles like Fantastic Four and stuff will also be considered classic era epic collections. Which is what I kind of thought about earlier. It's like I think things like Mark Waid's Fantastic Four would be a starting point for Fantastic Four modern era.
Draco's saying the book should just be volume 26, whatever. Breaking up the spines and numbers sucks. Well, here's the thing. Number one, we weren't sure we were ever going to get these. This is
Yep.
their way of making sure we're getting these stories collected again and with doing away with the ultimate and complete collections. Number two, the spine breaks aren't that bad, honestly. They're not a big significant break. I mean, I don't have one near me, but I'm sure Curtis does. The big difference is the color. You got one handy, Curtis? Yeah, I was gonna say, look at you, man. You read my mind. Hold on a second, brother. So to kind of give you an idea, let me remove
There's
your. There we go. So that's the way they look together, right? And if you look at the color, if you move it a little bit to your right, Curtis, there you go. If you look at Ghost Spider, it's in color, the little character box, instead of like a monotone color. That's another one of the differences. But they look
but it doesn't look bad.
really good together.
Yep. It'll be fine. And once you have like, 50 of them in a row, it'll look so good.
So at least they're coming out and they have a plan. There is no breaking up the spines. The volumes are on the back. I just really hate the term modern with comics. It doesn't work. Well, think about it like classic rock, right? Or classic video games, or reprinting of those. The term's going to change in the next 10 years. From a business perspective, it's a smart move, because in 10 years' time, you can reprint those books as epics instead of modern epics.
Well, and you think about things that we still talk about, like modern design is still the 1950s. When you talk about design, you want to talk about modern. It's like, oh, I've got a, I'm. This is modern furniture. It's 1950s design style. So it's like that term for comics, especially for modern comics. They could keep this modern term for this era if they want to, for as long as they want, forever if they want to.
Mhm. So this is a really good question. Well, for the majority of heroes, the modern era begins post Avengers Disassembled, with the exception
I
of
would agree with
Daredevil,
that.
right? Because
Yep.
Daredevil was before Disassembled. So, which leads to Frank's comment. So, Heroes Reborn, Return, and Forward will be in classic Cap. Yes, because
I think
Brubaker
so.
wasn't until 2004. So that stuff that you're talking about is 1998, 1999. So it's interesting where they pick and choose. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in that meeting when the argument started. We can't start modern Cap in 2004. We're starting modern Daredevil in 1998. We got to keep it consistent. And then somebody's like, "Well, wait, Ed Brubaker is a good breaking on point. Like, it's a good jumping on point. You can start it off with the volume one." Yeah. So it is interesting where they're picking and choosing. Um, Curtis justifying the word modern so we don't have to feel old.
Yeah, modern could be 70 years old.
I hate the term classic so much more than modern. I like vintage. Not everything is a classic just because it's old. Also true.
My
So
dad
in
is a
10 years,
collector of
go ahead.
sorry. My dad is a collector of vintage cars. And in the
Hmm.
car collecting world, vintage and modern are very different distinctions. Vintage is anything pre-World War II,
Mhm.
and sorry, pre-World War One. It had the cars have to have like brass metal instead of anything else, and so that practice of using brass stopped in like World War One, I think it is. So anything after that is deemed classic. Everything before that is deemed vintage.
So in 10 years' time, they may call that era postmodern. Yeah. We
Yeah,
can have
that's right.
postmodern epics. I called What's up, Michael Emmett? I call vintage Drake albums. No, you don't. Liar. All right, let's move on to the next book.
Black Widow Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 3 Chaos.
So this kicks off
Collecting,
the modern
yeah,
epic line for Black Widow.
this is the third new line that we're talking about here. All new Marvel Now Point One, number one, the Black Widow story, plus the entire Black Widow 1 to 20 by Chris Samney,
Mhm.
and with a crossover with Punisher 9.
This is this is huge. Number one, the Black Widow modern era. We'll kick off with those so many of those are out of print, like the Devin Grayson stuff. Oh my gosh, there's so many out of print, meaning that Black Widow, classic Black Widow, is only two epics, right? And that's it.
Yeah, that's
Because
right.
then we jump to the modern stuff.
And that's going to
Yeah,
be all of the Marvel Knights minis. She had a bunch of Marvel Knights miniseries, and those will, and then a couple other things.
this
Uh,
is Phil Noto on artwork. Chris Samney's the one that
oh,
did the Mark Wade.
Right, right,
issues.
right. I'm sorry. Yes, that's right. Yeah, Phil Noto.
Mhm.
Yeah, of course. Um,
That's three,
these.
Curtis.
Yeah, I know. I'm out of here.
Yeah,
Sorry.
fine.
See you later. No.
You
Yeah.
can't
Wait.
just
Sorry.
leave.
The 70 stuff comes after this, right? It's probably going to be volume 4.
Yeah, Wade and Samney takes place after this. Yeah. And there are a lot of miniseries that collect that have been out of print for a while now. So it's good to see that they have a plan. I like that.
This is very cool. And I think this is the first time that this run is collected in a big, thick trade, right? It's had small trades before, but I don't think it's been ever
Yes.
collected in such
Not
a complete.
It's not collected like this in big fatties as we call them. Wow, Wade and Sammy, was it really 2016 when they did that series? Uh, which means that someday you'll get the very very underrated Kelly Thompson series, which was killer. That came out in 2021. Man, all right, Curtis, let's
Okay.
keep on trucking. This is
Avengers
it.
West Coast Epic Collection,
Nope,
Volume
it's not.
7, Ultron Unbound.
I thought this was it. Never
Avengers.
mind. I looked at the numbers.
There's a few more. A few more. The last one of the Avengers West Coast Epics. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but then I looked at the number and I'm like, oh wait, that's not 102.
Yeah, it
Because
goes. Yeah, the
Avengers,
series goes to 102.
yeah.
This one only goes to number 95 plus the annual 7 and 8 plus material from Darkhawk and Iron Man annuals, and that's a annual crossover called Assault on Armor City, which you can see on the cover here. So the next volume, volume 8, unless they dip into Forceworks, it's probably going to be loaded with miniseries like Scarlet Witch and Spider Woman and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, and they might still be able to fit in some Forceworks issues in there.
Well, and then the next one will have the Blood Ties crossover too, with Avengers and Uncanny X-Men and Adjectiveless X-Men.
Ah,
So this will replace the Ultron Unbound trade paperback, and it dips a little bit into the that's a spoiler. Death of Blank trade paperback.
yes, that's right. You are correct.
Darkhawk Annual #1. Where's the Darkhawk Epic Collection? Or better yet, where's the Darkhawk Omnibus? That's what I'm talking about. And this is really interesting. Is Avengers West Coast 8 epics all released in consecutive order? That's unprecedented.
It's true. Yeah, the whole series. Now, if they include all the Forceworks in the West Coast Epic collections, they could technically release Volume 9 before the Volume 8. I think they'd have room for that.
Forceworks
If
only
they
have
have all the
what,
minis.
22 issues? Is that right? Did Forceworks
Right,
go
and that's
22
already
issues in
yeah,
one trade
that's a
with the
lot
crossing?
for one. It depends on how they want to handle the crossovers because it's not just that one, but there's like the In the Hands of Mandarin crossover and
Mhm.
a few other things in there.
Yeah, it
But
went
yeah,
22 issues. And I believe all that has been collected already in the crossing and in the Forceworks trade paperback.
right.
Oh wait, also One Century one shot. Was that collected in that big fat trade of Forceworks? I can't remember.
It was. Yeah, it
It
was
was?
there.
Okay.
Yeah. Which makes it a huge trade. It's too big. I think they'd have to split that over two epic collections to include the rest of West Coast Avengers as well. So there's no way that
Okay.
volume if they're going to include Forceworks, there's no way that volume 8 is the last Avengers West Coast epic collection.
Gotcha. Not the biggest fan of epics full of minis and annuals and graphic novels. But then where else are you going to get those? I mean, if you want everything, if you want the whole story, then they have to include those. There's some
I
Marvel's.
mean, am I
Go ahead,
and
Curtis.
Marvel Comics Presents? Yeah, that's right. There's a nice Scarlet Witch story in Marvel Comics Presents and some other stuff there. But yeah, I'm a fan of including it all because you don't have to read it. But if you do want to read it and it's unavailable, then you're out of luck.
Hmm.
West Coast is the best coast. I agree.
It started off silly. I really like the West Coast Avengers. Uh, this is when you get the David Ross artwork, right? There's a lot of that in here too.
I think so.
So,
I don't.
how many more do we have, Curtis?
Just a couple more.
All right, so everybody hit that like button because now we're going back to Captain America Epic Collection Volume 6, collecting Captain America 180 to 200, the Treasury Edition, Captain America's Bicentennial Battles. That's the big Jack Kirby book. So there's another one that oh my gosh, I forgot the series. They're slowly going through the old stuff. But
Yeah, but this means there are only two books left for Captain America.
what's left?
With
7
this
and 8?
7 and 8 for pre-Heroes
Dang,
Reborn. That's it.
that's insane, man.
Yeah, it's amazing. This is Jack Kirby's return to
Mhm.
Marvel, and it's not the complete Jack Kirby run. The other half of it's going to be in Volume 7. But for all of you Kirby fans, this is a book for you.
And Frank just said 3 cat volumes in 3 months.
I
Yeah,
know, right?
you got cat
Yeah, all
people are
from
eating
different
good.
eras.
Might be a movie coming out or something with y'all eating
Yep.
good. Yeah, that's nice. So this is cool. This is cool that it's I love epic releases whenever we do these because there's a little bit of something there for everybody, right? Well, except for that one guy that's like, I don't want anything. But there's a little bit of like classic stuff. There's a lot of modern age this time around, but so there's a little bit of there for everybody, and I think that's what's wonderful about these. I love the excitement of, okay, where are they going to go next? Are they going to go old school? And this time around, Captain America gets both, I guess, not really new school, but 90s, and then some old school stuff.
I think it's pretty incredible that Marvel has been around so long that that's possible, that you can have 3 volumes that are just completely different eras and completely different feels. It's just a testament to the longevity of these characters.
Yeah, and I could not agree more how crazy it is to think about, like, some of the people that are watching now have gone through, like, they were there buying these issues as they were coming out for each one of these books, and that I think that's more amazing. Mark, you don't have to
Yeah.
apologize. I don't like the faces Kirby draws. I'm sorry. You don't have to apologize for that, man. It's all subjective, right? There's people I know that don't like George Perez or Jim Lee or Mark Silvestri or John Bolton. Just, everybody likes something different.
Yeah. Okay, 2 more books. Two
Two
more
more.
books. Here's the next one. Thunderbolts Epic Collection, Volume 2, Wanted Dead or Alive. This is a classic Epic Collection, not a modern era Epic Collection. Collects Thunderbolts 13 to 25 and issue 0, plus Captain America and Citizen V Annual 1996 and Avengers 12. And this gets us into the Hawkeye era of Thunderbolts.
Yep. So this is the stuff that has been previously released as Thunderbolts Classics. It's been released, and I want to say this is mapped a little different too. It's been released in omnibus format, but here you have it in epic format to go along with your Thunderbolts Epic.
That's right. And that Thunderbolts Epic Collection, the first volume's coming out closer to the end of the month here, or end of the. Oh no, actually, it's coming out in July. There you go, coming out in July.
The modern one is that right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Thunderbolts Volume 1 is coming out in July. So this is Volume 2.
Mr. Awesome. All right. And the last one for all the people that are asking, where's the X-Men comics? Here they are. X-Men Epic
Volume
Collection,
23.
Volume 23. Fatal Attractions, collecting Uncanny X-Men 301 to 306, Adjectiveless X-Men 24 and 25, X-Men Unlimited number 2, Wolverine 75, Gambit 1 through 4, X-Men Survival Guide to the Mansion. This shows you that epics are mapped different, and epics don't care about Excalibur, because Excalibur 71 is not in here. And neither is X Factor 92. and neither is X-Force 25. What you're getting in here is pretty much the fatal attractions of just Uncanny and X-Men, and of course the Aftermath and Wolverine 75. So there it is. Where's Spidey? He's hanging out with Carnage and Venom in their epic collections. No, that will come
We
in the
got
next batch.
Also, we got a Spider-Man Epic Collection in January of 2024. We got the first Clone Saga book, so that's why we're not seeing Spider-Man here, I think. So,
Yes.
he's not going to be in every month, unlike Captain America.
Right. Those guys are eating good. Those guys are eating good. Uh,
So this one also includes the Gambit miniseries,
mhm.
and it also includes X-Men Survival Guide to the Mansion, which was solicited to be in the previous volume in Legacies, but then they changed their mind and Legacy came out, and this is it wasn't in that one, so it's in this one.
Yeah, and if you've never read this stuff is great. I actually like the Return of Magneto. Oh my gosh, issue 75 of Wolverine still brings a tear to my eye. I love that stuff, man. X-Men 25 is a classic issue. I'm not sure if they're going to do a complete wraparound cover. That would be really cool. With this is from Uncanny X-Men 304. It's the John Romita Jr. cover. But maybe. The Excalibur issue will be in volume 13 of the Uncanny X-Men Omnibus. There you go. So Mario's right. You can have something to look forward to. The next stream. So before we do a
Oh,
recap.
wait a minute. We've got one more book. We got one more book.
Surprise.
Well, look at that. It's Daredevil Epic Collection Volume 7. Forgot about that one there. Concrete
What did you
Jungle.
do? When is
Yeah,
this
I
one
guess it was out
also
of order or something.
in May?
I thought X-Men
Or
was going to be our last one, but here we go. Yeah, this one's also in April. Coming in April.
surprise,
Collect.
everybody.
Yep. Collecting Daredevil 133 to 154, Daredevil Annual 4, crossover with Ghost Rider, and then some stories from Marvel Premiere 39 to 40 and 43.
Curse, that's 4 strikes. I thought you were going to shock everybody with Amazing Spider-Man 16. Not this time around. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, we'll have to do that. We'll do something special when Amazing Spider-Man 16 is announced. Maybe we'll have a live stream of just that one book.
Yeah, and everybody that's been asking for it can join us.
Yeah,
so this
that's
is
right.
getting us closer to the Frank Miller era, which is crazy to think about in epic format. So this time around, we talked about 3 months, so no Thor, no Spider-Man, but we've got more reveals coming, and that is something that I did want to talk about. I want to talk about the next stream. But this one also contains material from Ghost Rider number 19. But before I do,
Right.
if you live in Europe and you want to pre-order some of these books, definitely check out waltzcomicshop.com. They're based out of Berlin, Germany. They have flat shipping rates for 12 euros for all EU countries. And all emails are answered within 24 hours. They have a superb collection of out-of-print books. You just head on over to waltzcomicshop.com. And for a limited time, you can put in the code near mint condition, all one word at the checkout, and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order of over 40 euros or more. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ting. There we go. Melanie will be proud of me. Oh my gosh. Yes, Simonson Thor and Epic before Marvel Masterworks is pretty unlikely. So we do have the next batch of books, but we wanted to split them up. We have June and July, right? No, May, June, and July. We've got May, June, and July. Let me just double check that I sent you the latest one.
Yeah, I think you did.
Let's see, Curtis, new schedules. Let's see here. So in May, we have 4 new books. In June, we have 7 new books. In July, we have 6 new books. No reprints yet. Once we get that list, we'll do a separate stream. Let me ask when they're going to input this stuff into the catalog, because there's some really cool ones in here that I want to talk about. The very first one in July has me really excited for that era. So maybe next week, make sure you're You're following us on social media. That's Near Con. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So there you go. So maybe as early as next week. Maybe as early as next week. And for the people that have stuck around this long, that have asked when is the big omnibus announcement coming, well, I finally have a schedule from Marvel. And the big announcement should be coming on May 22nd. And for the people that are still here, a follow-up announcement will be coming out on May 25th. So there you go. So the countdown can begin now. And if anything changes, I will let you all know. And we'll do a quick recap here in a second and get everybody, to chime in on what they're most excited for and things like that. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Curtis, will you be cool next week? I know your schedule.
Oh yeah, I'm good to go. I will make time for that for sure because this is very important, very very important. In the private chat there, Omar, I sent you the link to my after party. Can you send that to the chat there? I'm gonna jump onto my own live stream on my YouTube channel if you want to discuss events further and talk a little bit more about the implications of the modern era epic collections.
Are-
But we'll get to that in a little bit because we want to do a
Did you?
little recap.
Yeah, I would love to. I don't see it.
Okay,
Otherwise, I would.
okay, hold on. Let
Yeah.
me try.
Oh, super laugh hard. Happy birthday, my brother.
There, did that work?
That did. So if anybody wants to join my buddy Curtis, he's having an after party link on his channel, which is what is the name of your channel, sir? What is it that you do there?
Well, the Epic Marvel Podcast. I'd have a lot of different Epic Collection videos on that YouTube channel. If you want to subscribe, that would be great. Otherwise, yeah, I'll be there after we sign off here.
There you go. Omar, would they probably put the entire crossing event in a West Coast Avengers? I don't know. I think the crossing mainly has to stick to just Avengers and Iron Man. Otherwise, I mean, War Machine, I can't imagine. War Machine was a different beast at that time too, though. It's the only way to get most likely the new Iron Man epic that just came out. Yeah. I think that
It'll be in the Avengers Epic Collections as
yeah.
well, for sure, in
Mhm.
its entirety.
Next Friday would work great for announcements. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. No link was sent. So the link is in the chat right here. And there it is right there. If you want to copy and paste and join Curtis there. In 1 year's time, we're getting 4 cap epics. Makes me smile a whole lot. Oh, that's wonderful. So yeah, let's do a quick recap and then talk to everybody what they're about what they're excited for the most. So I know Curtis did this really kind thing right here with the epic collections. These are all new. No reprints yet. We'll have that list in a separate video. With Aliens, the Original Years, Volume 2, Captain America, Volume 21, Twilight's Last Gleaming, Daredevil Modern, Volume 2, Underboss, Incredible Hulk 15, Luke Cage, Volume 2, and Spider-Gwen, Volume 2, Weapon of Choice. Wait. We talked about Spider-Gwen, right? Yes, we did. We did. Couldn't
Maybe
remember
we
if we
didn't.
did or not.
Did we not? We didn't have a cover for that one.
Did you have the
I don't
content?
think I don't. Let me see if I have the
Hey,
content.
Curtis, how many mistakes?
Holy cow! Look at that. We got a bonus. Another bonus.
Bonus for the people that stuck here. I could have sworn
Wow! Look at that. Yeah, no, we don't.
Send,
We didn't have a cover. We still don't have a cover for that one.
do you have the content? I'll get the cover right now. I got to do a little digging.
Okay, let's see.
This is 3, Curtis. No, this is 4.
This is 4.
Dang it, Curtis. This is 4.
Well, maybe you
Curtis.
should
That's
have
it.
proofread my work there.
Okay,
Spider-Gwen. Oh yeah,
don't you
there we
melanie
go.
me. All right. Give me 1 second. I gotta quickly log into this FTP and see if I can pull it. Come on, baby.
So the Spider-Gwen contents I put in the private chat if you want to put that in the stream there, but it's Spider-Gwen 9 through 24, Spider-Gwen Annual #1 and all-new Wolverine Annual #1, and Spider-Man from the 2016 series 12 to 14, because there's a crossover there. So yeah, there we go.
Give me 1 second. I'll put that together. Let me download this, of course. Let's put it on the desktop for right now. And select folder,
Can we
downloading.
can we edit these as on the fly?
Yeah, I got you, man. I know what I'm doing. Not that you
Okay.
don't. Not that you don't, sir. Thank you so much for doing this. You're right. I should have proofread your work instead of, reading things. All right, I just
Okay.
downloaded
I
that.
actually I passed this along to Phil, to my buddy Philip
Mhm.
last night, so he proofread caught a bunch of my mistakes already. And he's posting live things on the Facebook group as we're talking about these as well. But he didn't catch that mistake either. Anyway, let's see if there's any more mistakes. In March, we have Captain America Modern Volume 2, Death of the Dream, Carnage Volume 3, The Monster Inside, Daredevil Modern Volume 3 out, Fantastic Four Volume 24, Atlantis Rising, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Quest for the Shield, and Star Wars Legends: The Rebellion Volume 6. That seems like it's okay. And then in April, Avengers West Coast Volume 7, Ultron Unbound, Black Widow Modern Volume 3, Chaos, Captain America Volume 6, The Man Who Sold the United States, Daredevil Volume 7, The Concrete Jungle, Thunderbolts Volume 2, Wanted Dead or Alive, X-Men Volume 24, Fatal Attractions, and Spider-Man Volume 16, Gang War. No, just kidding on that
Why did you say that?
one.
And somebody's gonna screen grab you, Curtis.
Yeah, well, they'll be awfully disappointed when it actually never comes out. Yeah,
Funny
there
guy.
we go.
And just give me one more second. I gotta just put the cover up here now. Okay. Give me 1 second. Were there any more mistakes?
I don't think so. I think we're
No,
okay.
no more mistakes. We're good.
That brings our count up to 18, right? Because there was 18 epics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, that's it. That's all of them. 18 epics. That's what we had.
All right, I gotta change this file size now because it's too big. And then we can reveal the cover in a minute. How's everybody doing? Anybody got any questions? Actually, at this time, I do have a question for everybody. Like, what's the one book you're most excited for? And Curtis, what about you? What's the book you're most excited for out of this whole
Most.
batch? If you had to choose one book,
Oh
and it better
man, well,
not be
definitely
Spider-Gwen
Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four Atlantis Rising. Like I said, I'm a big fan of the DeFalco Fantastic Four. That was kind of my entry point into Fantastic Four way back when, and I've always loved it. Even if there is kind of a rough ending to that book because of Onslaught, I still really enjoy all of that. And Paul Ryan is just an incredible artist and storyteller. So happy to have that chunk filled in right there. Other
Okay.
ones that I'm excited about are Fatal Attractions, because I love that story. Um, and what else here? I'm really excited. I've only read the Winter Soldier part of Brubaker's Captain America, so I have not read the next part. So this will be really really good for me to get that Captain America Modern Epic Collection. And
Mhm.
same with Daredevil. I've read the Quesada stuff, and began the Bendis stuff, but never got too far into it. So I'm happy that those two complete collections, or sorry, those two epic collections are coming out now. That I can add those to my bookshelves.
Okay, so I just added it in there, but for some reason it's not showing up,
Do we need
and
to
it's
refresh
under.
this or something?
Yeah, why don't you refresh that? Here, we'll stop
I'm gonna
sharing it for
remove it.
right now.
I'm gonna remove it, and then I'm gonna remove it
I'm
from
gonna
the
see what
stream,
everybody.
from
That's fine.
the studio, and then I'm gonna bring
That's
it
what happens
back.
when we're doing it live. We're doing it live. All right. See if you can find it, Curtis. Make sure it's there. It's in
Bring
February.
it back. Oh, okay. No, it's not there still. Oh, I know what it is. Well,
Do you not give me permissions to edit, Curtis? Oh my gosh. This is 5,
you should
Curtis.
have. I
Uh,
don't know. Can
Here,
you
I'll
can
just share.
you why don't you share it? I don't know.
Yeah, let me share my screen. This is what happens when things go live. So let me
Everyone loves it.
share my screen here. Window, nope. Chrome tab.
Phil Owens says Carnage 3 is his top choice.
I don't believe that. Can you see it now?
Ah, there we go. Whoa,
So,
going for the Civil War cover.
Spider-Gwen Modern Volume 2, Weapon of Choice. And that's what it collects right there. Spider-Gwen 9 through 24, Annual Number 1, All New Wolverine Annual Number 1, and Spider-Man 12 through 14. So there you go. Now, well, that took a little bit longer. Let me go ahead and catch up with everybody in the chat what they're most excited for. Modern Captain America Epics, Avengers West Coast, Captain America 6, Daredevil the Concrete Jungle, X-23. That we didn't announce that. Super laugh hard. Fantastic Four and Daredevil. Looking forward to Luke Cage 2 and Kirby Cap. Most excited for Daredevil Modern 2. We need Spider-Girl Mayday. Oh, we do. Daredevil and Star Wars, Black Widow, funny enough, but Avengers West Coast, Groot Cap, Fantastic Four, and Avengers West Coast, Ultron. I'm excited for most of the classic era ones, to be honest. We'll buy them all. X-Men 24. Oh, that's what he meant. Okay, X-Men 24. I got you. Thunderbolts, Daredevil and X-Men, both Daredevil volumes, modern Daredevil volumes. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I've
Nice.
read all the modern caps, but didn't buy all the Omnis. Great stuff. Probably Hulk by Peter David. What's up, Sam? It's been up in the air when Marvel will start doing epics for the 80s runs that have old trade paperbacks. Fantastic Four, Brubaker caps stay good for longer than people give credit for. Yes, they do. But Bar, you missed the Black Widow announcement. Now it's out. It's gone. Fantastic Four. No reprints yet. We will be doing reprints in a separate video. Bendis takes a lot of crap, but his Daredevil was top notch. Do you know if the Tomb of Dracula omnibus Oh, no, not the omnibus. Those will come out in epics before Omni and Omnibus. How far are the X-Men epics from Age of Apocalypse? Well, you have Fatal
I think
Attraction, and the
yeah.
next big one, I think, is
Phalanx Covenant.
Phalanx Covenant, Legion
and
Quest, which leads into.
and then there's the wedding of Scott and Jean
Mhm.
is in there. I think we
Yeah, but
probably
we
have
keep in mind those are
maybe
fleshed out with other issues of
yeah.
other X titles too. So
So I'm thinking maybe 3 more epics
wow, it's
to get
crazy. Star
to Age
Wars
of Apocalypse.
Captain America epics, Captain America 6, but all cap books to finish my collection. We're 2 volumes as Curtis has announced.
Yeah.
We need someone that has worked in IT. I hate you, Michael Emmon. You're like the only Canadian that's not nice. Do you have pictures of the spine of the modern Daredevil epics? No. This is all we were given. Those usually the spine designs don't come until much later. You are a gentleman and a scholar, Joe Cool. And people are telling Bar that there is a Black Widow book coming out. Sorry, I missed the earlier part of the stream. What era did the modern Daredevil epics cover? Well, it looks like they're starting with the Marvel Knights era with the Daredevil by Kevin Smith and Joe Quesada. Yeah. I don't like that they brought back Gwen, but that's a great costume. Well, it's not Gwen. It's a Gwen from another timeline, another
Yeah.
dimension.
616 Gwen is still dead.
Yeah, this is 65. There's more than Daredevil Yellow that they could put in early modern epics too. If it's weapon
Yeah,
of
I was
choice,
saying
why would they
there's
cover, say, Civil War? I don't know. That's just the cover they chose.
the cover.
Uh,
Is it Civil War 2? I don't know if she was involved. I didn't read any of that,
mhm.
so I have no idea if she was involved.
It's not from Civil War 1. It's just I think it's an homage cover. Night Nurse,
Oh, that
which hasn't even happened yet. Captain America Volume 6, though, if I can recommend one to everyone, is Captain America Modern Volume 2, Death of Captain America. part of it is in there, and it's my favorite story since I was a kid. Spider-Gwen. Oh, I'm not singing that, Michael. Hope the next time they announce Venom Volume 3, Maximum Carnage, and Venom Modern Era. What are the chances of a Gwenpool epic? It would be a modern epic and pretty strong depending on the sales of these right here. Death's Head 2 would be awesome.
Yeah.
X-Men Volume 23 will be a placeholder for the omnibus. Wait, I want a Black Widow omnibus announcement. Well, you're not getting it here. This is the epic announcements, Bar. Stop
Black
yelling
Widow,
at me.
epic announcement. Epic.
Yeah. We need Spider-Girl to continue from when the collected editions ended. And three new epic lines I want the most, and I can retire. Tomb of Dracula, Spider-Girl, and Dazzler. That you might see those. Chances of Spectacular Spider-Man coming soon? Well, it's unfair that we have a say because we've seen the list, so I'm just going to remain neutral. So no Spider-Man announcements at all, even though the social media post teased him. Did it? Well, what's the tease? Don't look at those social media posts as any kind of teasing. It's kind of cruddy, not going to lie. It feels like, oh my gosh, Aaron, what? False advertisement. I think Marvel still owns the rights to Spider-Man, and Spider-Man was in that Carnage Epic Collection and in Spider-Gwen. So you get two Spider titles.
Spider-Man is Spider-Gwen. I mean, Carnage is Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, and I don't know what the social media post was. Was it Spider-Man swinging, saying coming soon? Thunderstrike when? Go ahead, Curtis. You have an answer for Thunderstrike?
No, I don't have an answer. I would love to have the Thunderstrike Epic Collection. I think that would be great.
We had one trade paperback that had like his first appearance, and then it had a few of his first issues, and I think it had the last issue.
That's kind of weird.
Which doesn't even make any sense. It's the Thunderstrike trade. Bar would have been here earlier if there were. Yeah, I have nothing to do with the Harley epics. The big announcement, I said that a little bit earlier. Will be May 22nd, and then a follow-up announcement will be May 25th. So, unless something changes, that's when the big announcements are. Multiverse. That's right. Well, modern is subjective. To my daughters is anything after 2021. This is so true. Be good, Bar. Hit that like button on the way out. It was good to see you. Oh, Kevin Smith is back. And Nickelback is the greatest of all time. Are they? I'm so happy for modern Captain America. I sold the Brubaker Omnis to make rent years ago. Well, that makes me happy that you're getting them back, brother. That's awesome. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Oh, that would be great. But I think we're still a while from now, right? Because, I mean, we still have Spectacular to collect. We have Web of to collect. So it'll be a while. The tease was Spider-Man and the number 16 next to. No, it was not. I know Taylor would not do that. I will kill him. I definitely did not tease Amazing Spider-Man 16. I wouldn't do that to anyone. Thank you, Taylor. And thank you for being in charge of our social media. I think sometimes, and honestly, and it's not just Aaron, like, I think sometimes people look too much into the tie I'm wearing, the pose I'm doing whenever I'm doing a thumbnail. So I don't know what he posted, but for some reason it made people think, or Aaron at least, think it was Spider-Man.
You're going to need to approve all of the posts before they go out there now, Omar.
Now I got to approve all of that, and then I got to approve the slideshow that Curtis left out Spider-Gwen on purpose. Because he wanted some exclusive stuff for his after party. Who needs Spider-Man 16? We need a 10th reprint of Spider-Man 1. Hey, if they keep selling, that's why. Stop being mean to Curtis. He doesn't make mistakes. Is that your lady? You have your lady on here like taking up for you?
She wouldn't.
She would not take up for you. I was gonna say, I can't imagine Melanie taking up for me saying Omar never makes mistakes. My life is full of mistakes. I used to pick of Curtis holding a Conan epic for the post. I was so nervous people would think it was a Conan tease, even those I blurred out. Oh, so I'll have to look and see where people are seeing webbing. False advertisement, Omar. You're wearing a Zelda shirt and no Zelda. I am wearing it. It's because I'm playing Breath of the Wild for the first time. You should fire.
First time. That's my favorite video game, Omar.
What's that?
That's my favorite video game. I love it. Yep.
Oh my gosh. So it's one of these things. I saw the trailer to Tears of the Kingdom and I thought, you know what? I never got to play Legend of Zelda. I haven't played video games in a long time because I'm busy reading. I'm going to take a break and play some when I was in Washington, D.C. And man, it's such a huge world, but I love it. And yet, I don't think I'll play Tears of the Kingdom until uh, 5 years from now. There's literally only a hashtag Spider-Man in the post. Oh, is that what it is? Well, I mean, Marvel does own
Well,
Spider-Man, so maybe that's why.
and that's only there because to get the trending hashtag.
Probably.
Yeah.
Not playing video games to read comics. Grow up. I know, man. It's so hard. What's up, Higan? Manga, hello from Malaysia. Good to see the amazing Curtis and Omar. I like that you have a
Nice.
title, The Amazing Curtis. The Revenge of the Fifth. You should be wearing Star Wars. I know, but I forgot. Okay, so we'll talk about that later with the hashtags. At least it wasn't Conan or Master Kung Fu. Now, if you're interested in purchasing some of these books and you live here in America, check out cheapgraphicnovels.com. And they have books up to 50% off, and they're having huge sales right now. I think there's a big image sale still going. Tell them the Mint Condition sent you their way for free shipping on your next order after your first one. Note, hashtag Spider-Man, not hashtag Spider-Ham. Spam. Whatever. Follow Curtis to his after party where he's going to be talking about these books in depth, and you guys can have fun. Thank you so much for joining us here. So the big announcement is an Omni. Bad news for Josh, who was hoping for the essential lines. Josh loves manga so much, he supports the essential lines. I am interested in purchasing some of these books. Then you should definitely check out cheapgraphicnovels.com. This is the Epic Marvel Podcast. Thank you for that, James, where you can join Curtis.
Thank
And
you.
I will be back tomorrow live. I will be back tonight, not live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the review of Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'll be joining Nick at the Experience at 7:45 to do a live auction for George Perez's original artwork that 100% will benefit his widow. That's
Very
it,
cool.
everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Hit that like button on the way out. Check out Curtis and show him some love. How many reprints gets each omnibus till they go out of print? Oh, I don't know. They never really release those kind of numbers. Why do I always take questions toward the end? That's it. Curtis, where can people find you? One more time, Curtis.
Go over to epicmarvelpodcast.com so you can hear my podcast and all that other kind of stuff. And I have a Facebook group where we talk about Epic Collections all the time on Facebook. Just search for Epic Collections. And then, yeah, use that link to go over to my YouTube channel, Epic Marvel Podcast, and we will be continuing this discussion over there.
There you go. Thank you again,
Thanks
Curtis.
a lot for having me on this again, Omar, and letting me be a part of this. It's just such a great, fun time.
It's a pleasure. And thank you all that joined us live. Thank you to the people that put timestamps in the description of the video. Thank you to the people that comment later on. Seriously, it's a blessing to be doing this. So much love, everyone. I will see you later today if you're joining us for the Guardians of the Galaxy talk. I'm going to assume I didn't end the stream. I just left the chat. How many times have I done that? All right, now, bye-bye. Bye-bye. There we go.